So let me ask you this: as far as just to revisit, I know we interviewed you. That was probably around 6 months ago, and we
Hmm.
talked about the $100 million grant from the Jeff Bezos Foundation. Any updates on that? I know you haven't deployed all the money yet.
Hmm.
So any updates from the last time that we spoke on? I know you at the time still actively looking for
Hmm.
ventures and companies to actually deploy some of the money to.
Yeah, nothing to announce right now. I mean, the big thing that we're doing is laying the groundwork with this Make Wakanda Real campaign to pull together the ecosystem for Black excellence in AI. We feel like there's a lot of Black folks, like for instance, King Melonius, who basically, he did BBL Drizzy. Like he made that on something called Suno.com or Suno.co, which is you could do music on. It's an AI app you can make music on. One of the people who invested in that is Chris Lyons, the brother from Andreessen Horowitz.
Yeah.
So a young African American investor invests in this technology, and then Wallonius uses it to basically already change the direction of hip hop. So, but people don't know each other. So we feel like the first thing we need to do is to build an ecosystem for Black excellence, and then out of that, we'll be able to deploy capital into our own ecosystem.
Well,
And
even
that's what.
even telling that story, I think is interesting because it's like when we were with Chris and Cons, and he's coming to InvestFest also,
Mhm.
and he was telling us about that and was breaking down the whole BBL Drizzy and how the AI and the company and stuff like that, and it's like that story is such a big story in our culture. Drake first Kendrick, and everybody is only interested in the entertainment aspect of it, not even realizing that artificial intelligence played a major part in it. From Drake actually
Huge.
had a
Absolutely.
song where he used Tupac and Snoop's
Snoop.
vocals, the biggest artist to ever champion and really make a song with artificial intelligence. The BBL Drizzy is a product of artificial intelligence, right? And it's crazy because it's like AI played a major part in the biggest battle of our generation for sure. And very few people are even realizing or even talking about that aspect of it. Everybody's just talking about, the lyrics and the beef and just that. But it's like it's right in front of our eyes what's happening, and we still can't see it.
Well, I think we're going to be seeing it though. I mean, the great thing about InvestFest is that is really where I think the agenda gets set now for Black folks who are aspirational, who are innovative, who want to change their circumstance in their community using entrepreneurship. That's kind of like ground zero. So when we show up there and we're presenting all this AI stuff, that's gonna literally infect the culture. I don't think we're gonna be behind. I think InvestFest is going to ensure that we're not behind. I think it's we are only we're only behind because we haven't caught on to it at the level of this is must win for Black people. Once
Mm,
you explain this is must win for Black people, stand back. Stand
Yeah.
back. I mean, you have the most creative culture, you have the most innovative culture in the world. So you start giving these super tools to people. I'm scared for Hollywood. I'm scared for any existing group that's been in our way because they had all this capital. Capital is no longer going to be the issue. You can replace capital with computer code now. You don't
yes.
have to have a recording studio. You can have an app that does that. You don't have to have a film studio. You don't have to have 800 acres. You don't have to have, financing lined up. You can literally create animation. You can create films. Once our people understand what this is, I feel sorry for everybody else. It's going to be ugly. There's going to be whole industries wiped out by Black people. And once people understand that, I'm not worried. What I'm worried about is that fear narrative.
Mhm.
Oh, it's going to take our jobs. No, we're going to take people's industries. We're going to take people's whole industries. Like, don't come at me with that. We You do not underestimate what we can do once we're given access. And this stuff is literally just a click away.
Yeah, what I'm hearing from you is pretty like consistent with the conversations I've been having over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, with Will I am, Amin, who I know, who's
Mhm.
with the Bezos Fund, even had a conversation with the Nvidia team. Everybody's looking for the people that look like us that are excited around this. The one thing that is concerning is the amount of urgency that we really need to put on this. So yes,
Yeah.
InvestFest becomes that place. I used to say we have about 5 to 7 years to really like lock in, study
Yeah.
this. Had a conversation
Nope.
last week. They said, Troy, no, it's not.
Well,
It's 5
1
to
year.
7. You got 2 to 3 years, right? So everything that you fear that we're going to replace jobs, industries are going to get shifted. If we're not participating in it, not just from an investment standpoint, but from a creation standpoint, an innovation standpoint, which is why it's important to that we need to champion the people that are there now so it can be inspirational for others. Talk about the urgency around this next 2 to 3 years, the importance of it, because I don't think it could be understated.
Look, I think 2 or 3 years is even generous. I think, look, why are we waiting? We should be looking at the next several months because a lot of us already have enterprises. So it's just a question of taking the enterprises that we have and at least, making sure that we're using the right tools. I just think it's weird to me that that there are people who think that the status quo is good. They're worried about disruption. They're worried about something coming to change. Please disrupt this shit. Please disrupt it. I mean, what are we holding on to?
Yep.
I mean,
It's falling apart anyway. Yep.
I mean, it's falling apart anyway. What are we holding on to? We really like this existing educational system. We like this existing healthcare system. We like this. None of this stuff is working for us. And so to me, I'm like, thank goodness something's going to come. I just want to ride the wrecking ball and not wait for the wrecking ball to arrive. I want to be pushing that wrecking ball. And so, and look, and there's a book called The Coming Wave by a brother named Mustafa. I always get his last name wrong. There's a book called The Coming Wave that is a very good just introduction book. Everybody should just get it, download it on Kindle or audiobook and just read it this weekend. Just read it because that will put you ahead of 99% of people with one book. And then there's a book called Automate Your Busy Work that can show you how to just take everything you're doing right now and use AI to do it 100 times faster. You'll literally, what's taking you 5 days could take you literally 5 hours. So that's a book anybody can get, Automate Your Busy Work. There are books out here that literally will change your life in a week. And that's before you get into all the stuff that you have to teach folks around the investing and that type of stuff, which is why I'm glad that you guys are on this now. Look, the fact that you guys are on this is going to change a lot. I mean, just please understand. I'm looking around. I look at Wired magazine. I look at Fast Company magazine, and then I look at too many of our Black publications. You would think that Wired magazine and Fast Company magazine were in different centuries from what most of the Black conversation is, and that's not necessary. When we have a platform like this, we can catch our people up in a week. Because most people are not checking for this still. Most people are still thinking it's going to come in 5 years or 3 years. Good. Yeah. Let them think that. Let them think that they have 3 years. Please think that. And then we're going to close the gap in 6 months. That's how we should think about it.
Yeah, I think it's a travesty that we don't have AI curriculum for the kids in the fall. But for those who are watching tonight, what are like 7 apps that you recommend that they use? And for those who are interested in music, what's the app that you talked about before that made BBO Jersey?
I think it's suno.co. I just want to make sure I get the right name. Give me 1 second, because it's either Suno or Sudo. Suno. Yeah, Suno. Suno, Suno.com. Okay. Yeah, Suno.com. If I said it wrong, then correct it or whatever. But Wallonius used an app called Suno.com, and that's how he made the song BBL Drizzy. And the crazy thing about Suno.com is you can literally just tell the app what you want it to do. You can say, I want to make a song. It's a hip hop song, kind of like a 90s beat. I want it to be about my girlfriend. Her name is Julia. I wanted it to be about how we went to the park and how I was driving my red car, blah, blah, blah. And then hit the button. And in 40 seconds, it will give you an amazing song. You can't write no music. You can't sing. You have no flow. And you just created a song talking to your phone. That's free right now. Suno.com. So you can send that to homegirl, and that's a pretty good look. So I think Suno.com is important. Mid-Journey is so important as an app.
Mid-Journey is incredible.
Now look, I wish I was getting paid to do all this promotion.
We're working on
it. But Mid-Journey is so important because, again, you have no artistic skills. You have to spend a ton of money on, bringing in, a creative firm. Or you could get Midjourney and you could just tell Midjourney, I want an African American mermaid on Mars holding a guitar next to, and hit click. And there it is. Now, the first one might be a little bit messed up. You have to learn how to prompt it, but you can act. So, I mean, this is the type of stuff, and it's there are free and paid versions of it, but that's just there for you. Obviously, ChatGPT is another one. I could go on, but I think the most important thing I could say is just pick those three. Just take ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Suno, and spend a weekend just playing around with your friends. Just have fun with it. And you start to create so much fun. If I told you it was a video game, you'd play it. You know what I mean? If I said, this is an artificial intelligence tool, oh, Lord, and we get all freaked out. If I said, this is the funnest game ever, have a Suno party at your house, everybody make songs together. But now you're creating a culture with your crew and with your family that these tools are available. And so I would say, read Automate Your Busy Work. I would say read The Coming Wave. I would say play with those 3 apps. And I'm telling you, within a week, your whole brain is going to be different. It's not 3 years from now. Do it this week. What you waiting for? Everybody that every day you wait, somebody else is figuring it out. So why give them an advantage? And it's fun anyway. It's actually fun. It's like a fun brain exercise.
So before you leave, I want to ask you about, you sent me a chart with different AI opportunities, from infrastructure to models to tools to deep tech and robotics and different services, variety of different things, data. Anything in particular that we should be aware of, like as far as an entry point, or because when people think of AI, I think right now they're looking at it from like how they can actually use it, which is beneficial. But from an opportunity standpoint, right? And there's multiple different opportunities inside of AI. It's everything, right? So what opportunities should we be looking at inside of AI as opposed to like just using it for our personal or businesses?
Well, part of the reason I sent that to you is because I think we need to work that out. You're the business guys. I'm just like the political guy who just happened to stumble upon will.i.am a couple of years ago and said, holy crap, this is either going to put Black people at the top or at the bottom, depending on how we respond. But there are different levels of it, all the way from, it's probably too late to get much of an allocation in some of the bigger models, like OpenAI, like the big stuff. Like that's almost like now plumbing or infrastructure for the whole new system. But there are different layers and levels on top of that there are going to be opportunities for. I'm not the person to talk to about that, but everything I find, I'm gonna send to y'all, because you're kind of the megaphone to start pointing people in this direction. And really nobody knows. And it's a crazy thing. Even when I talk to I talked to Ashton Kutcher, and people see him as like some like white Hollywood dude, but he's actually been involved in tech for a long time. And he actually cares about communities that don't have much, cares about Black folks. He grew up like a poor white dude eating government cheese, like no joke. And so, he has a whole approach where he's broken it down and he's seeing opportunities. He talks to will.i.am a bunch. We're gonna have to create a whole culture around and a whole community around how we invest in this. But you guys are gonna be smarter about that than I am. I'm just gonna give you all the information I can find.
Smart man.
Thank you. Comment.